Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, today we're going to talk about the ancient planetary system. This system predates astrology, and actually, astrology got its start from this system. The system goes way back to the mists of times. And this was based on, I don't know if it's Egyptian, ancient Egyptian, or ancient Greek. Like it predates anything that we have in astrology. And what it was is the ancients took the year, 365 days, and they noticed the seven planets. Well, the sun and the moon, well, the sun is not a planet, but let's say the celestial energies and how it affected Earth. And over time, they recorded, and they started to notice patterns. And that's how we get the seven planets that you can see with the naked eye. They never paid much attention. Well, they didn't know other planets were there. So that's why this system only uses the seven original planets that could be seen and monitored with the naked eye. And these are the different energies that they came up with. And it started because all of this was in the northern hemisphere. It started at the spring equinox, and it started with the sun, the birth of the year. And then the next energies they noticed was the moon, because the moon brings rains. And then they noticed Mars, and Mars brings fires, your hot middle of the summer fires. And then they noticed Mercury. Well, Mercury is when you started wheeling and dealing. That's the e-commerce, started getting your harvest together. We have Jupiter, and Jupiter is the wheel of fortune. How did your year go? How did your growing year go? Remember, a lot of this was agricultural. Uh, um, the hunter gatherers didn't follow the system, but the agriculture needed to know when the seasons were, and when it was time to harvest, when it was time to plant, when it was time to wait to plant. You don't want to plant your seeds in January and a snowstorm comes and wipes out your whole crop of green shoots. So this is where this started. So the Wheel of Fortune here, Jupiter, this is when your larder expanded. This is when your money expanded. You did all the dealings here, but perhaps you didn't get paid until later in the year. And then we have Venus, and Venus is actually overlaps over our Christmas time. So perhaps they thought this is when Venus brings us all kinds of joy, and everybody has lots of good food, good wine. You feel very luxurious. And then comes Saturn, the barren time of the year. And Saturn brings just rewards and karma. And so if you were really lackadaisical, you didn't save enough, you didn't put enough food away, Saturn will you pay the price. If you did work hard and you did put enough food away, Saturn then provides you with enough to make it through the rest of the year. Also, the springtime was the best time to have a baby, right? You don't want to have a baby in the middle of winter because your food is running low. It's cold outside. It's just extra work in the winter when you're actually should not be exposing that. So trying to plan so the babies are all born in in the springtime, and that's actually during Mars. Kapow! Mars is when your passions should, the male passions certainly run rampant, and then your baby is born in the springtime. So this is how this original calendar starts. Right now, as we speak, we are in the tail end of Venus. And like I said, Venus runs from December 5th to about January 25th. And again, the planets are like sunrises, sunsets. It's not like, oh, it's December 5th. Woohoo, let's party. No, it takes a few days. And then, of course, the planets overlap for a couple of days, as well as one is coming in and one is leaving, giving the handshake, going, it's all yours. We start our next Saturn period on January 26th. The dates barely change per year. The only thing that might change it by a day or two is what day of the vernal equinox is. Um, and like I said, the day, like a day or two, doesn't really matter. It's because the sunset, sunrise. It's more or less like once you're deep into it, then for sure. So we're going to go into our Saturn period right away here, starting next week. Very interesting about what's happening with Saturn in the sky. Even though this has nothing to do with astrology, it's interesting how it's matching up. Now, Saturn is the taskmaster, Saturn is the karma keeper. If something starts during your Saturn period, and you can always calculate your own year how it's going to go, you always start with your birthday. See, your birthday is sun starts, and then you count 52 days, 52 days, 50 days, 50 days, etc., etc. Then we get to Saturn time. Your Saturn time is when karma comes a knocking. If you've worked hard, if you'll get your just rewards. If you've slacked off, you'll get your just rewards. Um, Saturn's motto is, "May you have the life you deserve." If your marriage is going to fall apart, it'll fall apart during a Saturn time. It's never recommended to get married or start anything during your Saturn time. If an illness happens to come your way during your Saturn time, you'll find it very difficult to get over. Generally speaking, like people who have terminal cancer, they usually catch it during their Saturn time. Uh, for the most part, I know someone's going to type down there, and sometimes some of these cancers start, but we don't see evidence of them. I'm not saying when you see evidence of them. I'm saying when they start. If you're in a bad accident, you'll find it's very difficult to get over the injuries. I want to point out to you some of the things in the world that what happened during a Saturn time is the Ukraine Russia war started, and look how difficult that has been to undo. I also want to point out Saturn is rules the earth, not the earth, the planet, the earth, the ground, the dirt, what's under the earth. And look, it's a ground war. They're fighting for land. It's going to take a long time to get over that war. Even if they had a peace deal or a peace whatever, it's going to take a very long time to undo that. Anything that's done during G time, during your Saturn time, is very, like I said, you never want to get into an accident. If your job is about to end, you'll find you'll be laid off. There's a big statistic that if you are sick, it's actually just before or around your birthday that you pass away, and that's because Saturn rules death as well. You never want to start a lawsuit during your Saturn time, but it's a great time to wind one up. If there's anything in your life you want to end, I would do it during a Saturn time because then it will be ended forevermore. So be careful what you end during your Saturn time. So, that being said, let's find out what the world has in store for us during this next Saturn time from January 26th until the vernal equinox and the sun comes out again. So we got a couple of things going for us. Now we have to remember the G time actually before that has been the Venus time from December 5th to January 26th. That's, everybody's in a good mood. It's Christmas, lots of food, lots of drink, lots of, luxurious gifts being exchanged. Uh, and everybody gets to work and they, oh, what did your partner get you? And everyone's vying for the who got the biggest gift or whatever. Lots of exchanges of food going on, and generally a peaceful time. Generally a peaceful time. Uh, So we are coming out of that generally peaceful time of Greenland, and we are going into our Saturn time. We're going into karma time. Also, Iran. Now, Iran, if um, all these protests and everything go into Saturn time, well, is karma coming for the rulers? Also, that if it disintegrates during Saturn time, it'll be very difficult to oust the old and bring in the new. That will be groundswell for a very long time. Civil wars start, right? That kind of thing, like grassroots kind of thing. If they can wait until after the vernal equinox, they have a much better chance of having a brand new beginning in Iran. Couple of other things, like if we notice the sun is out here, so it's time to plant. It's time to get those seeds in the ground, if they aren't in there already. And interesting, starting May 11th until July 2nd is the moon. And what does the moon offer? Rain. So if you have all those seeds planted and ready to go, out comes the moon time. And a lot of places, June is the wettest time of the year. That's just the moon looking after the seeds. And then, of course, from July 2nd to August 23rd, we have Mars. Well, that's when a lot of the fires start, isn't it? Um, Wheel of Fortune here is October 14th to December 5th. And it's interesting that there's that old rule of thumb in stock markets: go away in May and you don't come back until the autumn. And that would be the high priestess, the moon. So look at the secrets and whatnot that go in. And then you almost could say it waters this them down, but come back. All right. So what can we expect this Saturn time for 2026? Ooh, the Empress jumped out. So we're going to continue to see more peace. Well, I have to play it. It jumped out and it's faced up. So are we going to continue to see more peacekeeping, more um, more possibilities? Now, interesting. This during this Saturn time, that February 17th starts as well. Okay, let's find out what's going on. Oh, defensive, defending, taking the high road. Definitely, who people will still continue to defend their actions, defend their land. Um, I was hoping I'd see a little bit more. I'll do more. I think there's going to be more strategies after in the sun period, in the moon period. People getting to work. That's actually really good for the moon period. Mars, second chances. So that's actually, I like to see that on Mars during the Mars time, which is July 2nd to August 23rd. Page of Pentacles. I think this is actually going to be a really good year. And back to Venus. I'm going to pull one more. Wow, we got the moon. We got the moon and Venus. I think that during this Saturn period, an interesting Saturn has a lady with bare boobies that we can't show you. And then we have the Empress and the Moon card. Females are going to be very important in this Saturn time for some reason. Um, are we going to see like Ghislaine Maxwell get her comeuppance? Are we going to see females rise to the top? They're getting their karma. They've worked really hard. They've persevered in some things. And so are we going to see them get their karma? Um, the men don't look very strong during this time at all. The men are defending their actions. It's like they don't have any new ideas. They're just defending what they have. There are secret deals, secret backroom deals going on. Um, there's trying, like, there's secret contracts and whatnot going on. Um, I'm going to say I think things that are in the ground are still going to do good. So what lives in the ground? Silver, gold, oil, uh, um, any kind of harvest uh, and you have to remember in the southern hemisphere they're doing their harvests right now. I think their harvests are going to do really well. I think things will move along really quickly with that moon card there. Um, I think i- I'm not seeing much winning. I'm seeing pregnant with possibilities. I'm seeing secret deals going on in the background, and I see a lot of defense. I don't see. I was hoping to see like six of wands, which is victory, um, or another Saturn on top of a Saturn. Things winding up uh, and 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 dying basically. So um, right? Like a war ending, dying, or conflict dying, or something like that winding up. Also, very interesting about the female-led part of Iran. I think that is going to continue. I think that's going to really continue. Um, I think they're going to be victorious. I think if you've been abusing those kinds of things, alcohol, food, spending too much, sloth, sloth, I think you're in for a lot of hurt. I think there might be some kind of prescription coming for you. Um, right. Let's see the sun. So after the vernal equinox, I think there's still going to be, yeah, I think nothing's going to be concluded. So that goes right until about May 11th. So during Aries season, interesting, we've got that April 17th in the middle of this. Uh, that is going to be something is going to definitely happen that affect the people. I want to show you something with the major arcanas and the court cards are those who rule us or general uh, political, social kind of things. But when we just have the pips, it's affecting the people. I think the people are going to start to feel very burdened and have no recourse. And I think the spotlight will be on the people who are on the ground, on the people who are working hard, on the people who have no money. I think there's going to be it's going to be like people power. That's what I'm seeing. All right, during moon time, looks like people do get back to work or mastery of skills, death, and justice. See, now we have some major arcanas. And so moon time is between May 11th and July 2nd. And I think a lot of people have predicted that we see a new king at that point. Um, I think we will see some major court cases be overturned, that things that you think are for sure are going to be overturned. Um, I think we're going to see a lot of people suing a lot of people. Um, we may see a lot of lawsuits settled. I think the moon part here, the cycle that we are in about the moon, are going to be quick turnover court cases. I'm suing you. Okay, here, instead I'll pay you out. I think if you do have a court case coming up during that time, I think you're going to end up with a lot of money if you are being sued. If you're suing someone else, you might be in a bit of trouble. I think we're going to see some court cases overturned, like perhaps like Ghislaine Maxwell, P Diddy. Um, I think we're going to see some of those be overturned. I think we'll also see the death of a king. Now, a king, like I said, could be CEO, could be company, could be a leader. I'm going to call it right now. It's somebody who makes their money being a leader. I think we're going to see the end of them. All right, so Mars. So this is July 2nd until August 23rd. I think this is when we actually end some of the wars that are going on. Yeah, definitely. We're going to see the ending of a lot of wars. We're going to see a lot of movement of refugees. We're going to see possibly refugees going home because if the war's over, there's no sense you being here. Safe to go back home. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see some of the wars that perhaps need peace agreements cease. And also, I think money's just running out for wars. I think we're going to see some things start here during the sun period when it's just all the people and they're protesting and they're just like, I have no more money. Like, you cannot take another penny out of me. I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be an end just to some of that. So, um, second chances of peace agreements, peace talks. Um, I think there'll be some shocking peace agreements too. That will things are ceasefire. That's what I'm seeing. All right, so Mercury time. Mercury is uh, between October 14th to December 5th. Let's find out. Ooh, the economy might take the end. We also might see the end of Joe Biden. I don't know why I thought of him there. Oh, that's because he would be in his Saturn time. We might see the end of Joe Biden then. So that's October 4th to December 5th, and his birthday's November 20th. So that's during his Saturn time. Also, that's the King's Saturn time, too. If we don't lose a leader, well, we are going to lose a leader here. There's more than one leader in the country. Joe Biden and the King, we might hear some information. Also, be very careful of scams during this time, of people trying to sell you something during a Mercury time. Really careful. It really could be ruinsome for you. I wouldn't sign any contracts if I could. I'd wait until after December 5th. All right. So December 5th until about oh no, uh, October 14th to December 5th. Sorry, I'm getting this all mixed up. This is August 23rd to October 14th. This is December 5th to, no, I messed this up totally. Okay, so this is March 20th to May 11th to July 2nd to August 23rd to October 14th. So I was right. So this is October 15th to December 5th. Jupiter. Oh, see, I think wishes come true. This will be a great time for entrepreneurs. We may see a new king rise up. Um, I think that I think that's going to be a fabulous time for us, actually. Really nice. Wishes come true, agreements being made, a lot of peace in the world. Um, we're going to see a new leader emerge, and it'll be somebody who's very business minded. Also, King of Wands is JD Vance. Are we going to see JD Vance rise then? Not saying he becomes king, but he'll be in a position to be king. So there might be some kind of handover. And if that's the case, that's amazing for him. That will just continue to expand. So he goes from vice president, acting president to president, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let's go to Venus, which is December 5th to January 26th. It's the where we are right now, but a year from now. Knight of Pentacles, the Sun. People are going to feel really enthusiastic. People are going to really be looking forward to the future. They're going to feel like a brand new day. They're going to harvests are going to be really good. Harvests are going to be really good. Um, I think people get their money under control. I think a lot of babies will be born, and I think I did that prediction that this year there will be a lot of pregnancies. I think a lot of babies will be born, or we'll hear a lot of people who are pregnant just about to be born. So that's between December 5th and January 26th. So that's about right. If you are an Easter baby, um that's probably about right. Interesting. So yeah, we'll hear of a lot of babies born, a lot of population explosion. I think people are going to have a lot of hope for 2027. What's underlying? Oh, Seven of Cups. Lots of choices this year. Some are going to be booby prizes. Some are going to be legit. I think the media is going to be playing tug of war with us this year. I think people are going to be all up in their choices. Which way, young man? That's what I'm hearing right now. And I think that starts in the sun. I think because this is the energy for the whole year. I think that this will be power to the people this year. I think we're going to get rid of the old standby. We don't listen to the people, and the new is coming in where they're in agreement with people, where people, their wish of the people, the will of the people are the guiding factors, and people, and that's going to give people a lot of hope. I think we will, by the end of the year, I think we're definitely going to see um, the escalation definitely calm down, definitely calm down. But yeah, if the Iranian people can hang in there, they have a much better chance after springtime, especially between May 11th and July 2nd, of toppling the current government and bringing in bringing the Shah back, especially if they wait for there. So they just need to keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing, and it'll come. This year will end up feeling like a dream. This is actually really fascinating. Really fascinating. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.